Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Elkhart Rotary Club. It's a beautiful day outside. Thank you all for being here. There could be other places you could be, and I'm happy to see your faces right here. I'd like to welcome Mo Jacobson up to the podium to give us some words of wisdom and thoughtful reflection and all those other great stuff that Mo can give to us.
We're all out of luck. So long before we, that is maybe our predecessors, occupied this land, the Potawatomis were here for 4 centuries, have been here for 4 centuries. And they had something called the 4 directions, which reminded me a bit of our 4-way test. Bear with me. The traditions of the Potawatomi honor the 4 directions of east, south, north, and west. During prayer, during ceremony, and throughout the day, each direction has unique significance. East is the direction from which light comes, and therefore the direction of illumination. It is the direction for birth and rebirth. Rebirth can mean learning new things, gaining a new level of understanding. It is the direction of guidance and leadership. The gifts of the East include clear speech that help others understand, light, purity, truthfulness, childhood innocence, and uncritical acceptance of others. South is the direction of the sun at its highest point. It is the place, excuse me, it is the place of summer, of fullness, of youth, physical strength, and vigor. Symbolically, it is a time of preparing for the future, getting ready for the days ahead. The South is also a place of the heart, of generosity, of sensitivity, of feelings of others, of loyalty and love. The most difficult and valuable gift to be sought in the South is the capacity to express the feelings openly and freely in a way that does not hurt others. West teaches that its greatest lesson to be learned is to accept others as we really are, as both spiritual and physical beings, and to never cut ourselves off from the spiritual part of nature. Gifts of the West include darkness, contemplation, deep inner thoughts of the unknown. North is the place of winter and the white snow that reminds us of the white hair of our elders. Survival, and sometimes means physical survival. That there is enough food and wood to keep us warm. It can also mean emotional and mental survival against loneliness and depression, keeping our spirit and our heart strong. Gifts of the North include our elders, insight, wisdom, moderation, and justice. They were a smart tribe.
And now for everyone online, Dan, Paul, Connie, Carlos, we're going to turn the camera on now. There we go. Let's get that camera set. Hitting the right one here. Okay. All right, everyone. Yes. Let's see. I believe We do not have any outside guests today. Have I missed anyone? David, who was so generously, just our speakers today. Okay, very good. I sent an email over the weekend and another email this morning, and I thought it might be appropriate to just give a little moment of reverence for Mike Crable, who passed away last Friday, as well as Ray Waldman, a longtime member who moved from Elkhart to Indianapolis a few years ago, but maintained his membership with the Elkhart Rotary Club. So just however you would like to make that reflection, let's give a few seconds of silence. Thank you. And for Mike Crable, and I included this in that email, but there is a service on Wednesday afternoon, a visitation from 4 to 6, and then a service immediately following that at 6 o'clock at Hartzman Guttermuth Inman Funeral Home on Franklin Street. If you have any questions, refer to your email or ask me. Are there any announcements? If you have an announcement, please come forward and deliver that. And I have a couple while Sherm is working his way up here. Come on up, Sherm. Come on, come on. We can do this. We hold on. Got to have it on the video here so everybody at home can see you.
For many years, I'm keeping track of attendance, and I want you to know that Ray Waldman had 53 years of perfect attendance in Rotary. That's to be commended. And we happen to have the next one in line, not to be passing away because he's such a good guy and we want to keep him around for a while. But Shannon White has 49 years of perfect attendance. So.
Sure, thank you for announcing that. That is impressive. That's truly wonderful and a gift to the community. Speaking of a gift to the community, a while back we gave away some money through our donations committee, and one of the recipients of that was the Elkhart Parks Department. I've been communicating back and forth with Jameson Sarnecki. He's been here as a presenter a couple times for us. He is, and I wanted to make this announcement because I know people may be looking for service opportunities. And as a group that we've supported monetarily, perhaps you consider serving them. Perhaps you'd consider serving them through other ways, like volunteering. The Parks Board is looking for a proxy board member. And now I understand from Jameson that means if someone is missing or absent, you would be called to fill in. They meet Tuesday, the first and third Tuesdays monthly at 3 o'clock at City Hall. And how many of you knew that our Elkhart Park Board was a bipartisan, requires 2 Democrats and 2 Republican members? Did everybody know that? I'm sure everyone in here knew that. This is a pretty smart group. All right, Chuck, I had no idea that was true. And so they are also looking for a Republican to sit on that committee permanently. So if you have interest in that, let me know, and let me know soon. I can give you the details, but Jameson is doing a great job as superintendent, new superintendent of the park system. And let's help support that as a great resource here as we have supported them through our donations committee. Everyone saw Tom MacArthur's got t-shirts up here. If you had t-shirts or ordered or need to pay for them, everybody go talk to Tom. That goes for anyone online as well. Next Monday, August 9th, the program will be GE Girls. So this is a STEM camp, science, technology, engineer, mathematics camp program hosted at Notre Dame that gets girls involved with those areas, which is obviously a very important thing, sponsored by General Electric. And next week, we're going to have a speaker, Dr. Victoria Goodrich. She's a PhD there and is in charge of that program. So it should be very interesting. I do not know anything about GE girls, and this will be a good thing. And obviously, that is one of the areas of emphasis of Rotary this year. From our president is a focus on empowering girls. So I want to thank you, Aaron, for reaching out. We're trying to be more thematic with how we choose folks to go along with supporting Rotary. So I'm guessing that there might be a little mention of that in our presentation today as well. If there are no more announcements, and we do not have any not-for-profits scheduled to speak today about how their grant has, or our grant has helped them, I would like to welcome a returning sergeant. Everybody knows and loves, well, most people. You know him at least. Bill Burton, come on up today.
Thank you. Stop. Sit down, please. Sit, please. Hey, Mo. Would you mind joining us in a more elevated way for a moment, please? Let me stand up. Let's hear it from Mo. Really, great job. So inspired by your remarks. The pledge, the 4-way test, maybe that could be something you work on just a smidge. But good job generally, but a couple of things. Thank you. You talked about gifts to the community, Eric, and I was about to stand up. So it may be $1. So, the United States was the host country more than any other for the Olympics. Jack Citadine, your table can confirm who was the second most common country to host the Olympics. And time's up. Good guess, wrong. France. So if you all would toss it up, it'd be nice at your table. Bill Temple. The gold medal is 96% comprised of what element? No, only 6 grams of gold are the gold medal. The remaining, and you could have, I didn't ask you to, but anyway, it's only 96% of it is silver. So if your table would all chip in about that. The silver medal is 100% silver. I'm not going to ask you that. The bronze medal is composed of what? Jim Story. I kind of know who you are. So what is 95% of the bronze medal? Just really one word. You can confer. And I would Jim. So what's the element? $1 for each person there at your table. It's 95% copper and 5%. David, bronze medal is 95% copper and 5% what? David, Tony, you can confer with your table. The bronze medal is 95% copper and 5% what? Zinc, $1 for each one. Okay, in 2024, the Summer Olympics. Peter McCown, you back there? I'm gonna give this, I'm gonna ease it up a little bit, multiple choice. 2024 Summer Olympics. I'm gonna do this in alphabetical order. Beijing, Elkhart. Well, now wait a second. We got the Aquatic Center. You know, we got a rice field. We got Northside Gym. Come on. So Beijing, Elkhart, Paris, or Sydney? For his table. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Eric. And you can confer amongst your table. How did the Olympics get its name? Okay, so you got it. Olympia in Greece. Okay, Jeff Wells isn't here, is he? Not today. Let's well, my favorite table, Stu Barb. The logo consists, the Olympic logo consists of what? Excellent. That's not the question. What do those rings represent? You're kind of a show. 5 continents is exactly right. Africa, Asia, Americas, Europe, and Oceania. So have a seat, but everybody else put a bucket if you will. Okay, how many? Lori, is that you? All right, Bill, you can confirm at your table. How many athletes are attending this year's Olympics? 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, or 11,000? 11,000. You 3 put in a buck, please. Contacts are. We got this table right here. Larry Knight, is that you? Yeah, there you go. Have a stand up. Okay, newly added. 5 events were newly added to the Olympics this year. Can you name 2 of those 5? Or your table? You said skateboarding? And the other one you didn't get. So everybody else at your table put in a buck, please. They are karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, and baseball, softball. Now of those, far back table over here, that Tom Schaff, I see. Is that Tom? Very good. There you go. Okay, so of those 5 that are in Japan's Olympics, which ones are going to be, 2 are going to be dropped? Karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, surfing, or baseball, softball. Pick 2. Going to be dropped. They were in Japan this year. You got one, softball. And what's the other one? Karate, skateboarding, sport climbing, or surfing. Karate. So your table, put in a buck, please. The most populous country. Dave Lehman, I know we already got your name. Any tables we haven't got? What? Candy Yoder, where are you? Yes, oh, thanks, Candy, for speaking up. The most populous population, most populous country, populous population, I guess it's to have never won an Olympic medal. I'll give you. You got it? Okay. Alphabetical order. Bangladesh, Peru, South Africa, or Turkey. Bangladesh, a population of 149 million. So if you would each put in $1, that'd be great. And then finally, the Elkhart County 4-H Fair started in what year? 1850, 1900, 1935, or 1950? Anybody? Wrong. So everybody put in $1. It's, oh, you said 1850? Okay, 18. Yeah, you got it right. So I'll put in 5. Thank you all.
1850. Bill, thank you for that program. It's fantastic. But hey, you got to give it up for Bill, this immediate past president here. He was aware of the time. He knew things were going well because everything's being run so efficiently up here. And so far, we've not had any technology problems. I would love to invite Aaron Wagler up to introduce our speakers today.
All right. Before I do that, I just want to remind everybody that you can pay your fines online as well, which is what I do every week. Simple click the button on our Elkhart Rotary website. All right. Well, today we are joined by Mike Gallo and Cindy Kavanaugh, and they are both with the Goodwill Industries with the Excel Center. So you may have heard of the Excel Center throughout the area, but they are starting an Excel Center in Elkhart, I think in a week or two coming up, so they'll give you more information on that. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, making my notes. All right. Both Mike and Cindy are former teachers, so they've had a long history with education. They're very passionate about that. Cindy started in Hammond, Indiana 5 years ago, and is now the vice president over all of the Excel centers. And Mike is the Elkhart director. He has been teaching in the South Bend and Niles area before he came to the Excel Center. And he's been with the Excel Center for 6 years. So I'm excited to hear what you guys are planning.
Good afternoon, everyone. My voice is going in and out, so Mike may have to take over. As Aaron said, my name is Cindy Kavanaugh. I'm the Vice President of the Excel Centers for Goodwill, Michigan. The Excel Centers are a free high school for adults. And we, like I said, we're partnered with, or we are part of Goodwill. There are 156 Goodwills throughout the nation, and our Goodwill, Michigan I forgot the other county. I'm not over there that much. So I have a question for you. I'm going to give you a number, and if anyone can tell me what this number means, you will get a handy dandy Excel Center mug. The number is 200,000. 200,000. Okay. could that possibly mean? No. Wow, I wish that would be that much. Oh, there was this free test though. Yes, can you narrow it down just a little bit? No, not yet. Okay. Very good. Give that man a mug. Yes, currently there are 200,000 adults over the age of 18 in our territory that don't have high school diplomas. So the Excel Centers came out of Indianapolis Goodwill, and the first year they did it, it's been about 11 or 12 years ago. The first year they did it all online. They had 2 graduates the whole year. We know that our students need to be in front of us in order for them to learn, so they revamped it, and we have what we currently utilize. Our classes are 8 weeks long. We have 5 terms a year. We offer a lot of, our goal is to remove barriers for our students. One of the barriers that was mentioned for young ladies, a lot of our young ladies come to us because they got pregnant in high school and they dropped out. We offer free, high quality childcare. By high quality, how many of you guys have heard of high scope? Preschools at high school, right? So it's this, it's a curriculum that is focused mainly on poverty, children who live in poverty. Because by the time they get into kindergarten, they have to have a vocabulary of over 5,000 words. Most of our little ones don't have that. So we offer that free. We have a whole curriculum that we do, and we offer that free. One of the other things that we do is transportation. We offer free transportation. So what that looks like here in Elkhart we'll use the trolley system, and we will give gas cards. At some of our other schools, we have a location in South Bend, we have a location in Hammond, and we also have a location in Gary. In our Hammond location, there is no bus service. We Uber students back and forth to school. And in Gary, they have the bus system as well as in South Bend. And both of those bus lines were actually moved to serve our students. Oh, life coaches. Yeah. So as the students come into us, they're assigned a life coach, and I like to refer to them as a traditional school counselor on steroids. Yeah, they do all of the scheduling and what credits you need and everything like that, but they also come around with student and help break down some of those barriers they face. For some of our students, when they come to us, they take basic tests for us, like entrance exams. And we have to do a math exam, and we do an English exam, excuse me. So I don't know about y'all, but it's been a minute since I took algebra. I passed it in high school, but I probably couldn't pass it now. So I would be placed into kind of a basic math class so that I would relearn and re-engage those muscles, those learning muscles I haven't used for a while. And what we see sometimes with their students is they get frustrated because it's hard, and they may blow up or may get frustrated. And their life coach is there to step in and calm them down and have them think about what can you do differently? How could you handle this differently? If there's a student that says, hey, I can't do class today, my NIPSCO bill or my gas bill's due today, I have to go pick up an extra shift. Hold on a second, we have some resources that you can call. Here's their name, here's the number, you can go and they can help you. We'll see you in class today. So we call it legal stalking on the internet, on Facebook and all the other social media sites. And we really hone in with our students. We want to help them figure out why they didn't finish in the first place and graduate. One of the other things that's very unique to our school, it is an actual core 40 high school diploma in Indiana, from the state of Indiana. So just like all the 17 and 18-year-olds over the summer graduated, that's the same diploma our students get. However, of course, we have to do a little bit better. And we require our students to either get an industry recognized certification or dual credits through Ivy Tech. And what this does for them, some of our students go on to college and they do great because they have that background and they're ready to go. But most of our students don't. They would get that certification, So it gives them, as soon as they graduate, they have this certification in hand that they can go to any of the industries in the area and say, here, I know how to weld. Here, I know how to do a CNC. Or I'm a CNA. So they're able to get a job readily and be able to provide for their family. Yeah, that's a nice little point, Mike. Thank you. At the end of the day, it is really about helping families and helping our communities. Like I said, we are in South Bend, Hammond, Gary, and we will be opening here in 3 weeks from today. We think we have a location. Please note, this isn't fly by night. We're established. We just had a little question about the lease. So we're hoping that we'll be able to move in and we will open our doors hell or high water, excuse my language, in 3 weeks for our students, because we're enrolling students. We have a lot of interest out there. We know that this is desperately needed in this area. So we're super excited to be here and be able to come alongside industry and the rest of the community leaders to help the community. I have some information up here. Do I have any questions? Does anybody have any questions or anything? Yes, ma'am. Anyone over the age of 18? We had a student in Gary that was 82. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. The age of students. So our typical age at all three of our schools runs between 25 and 32. That's our average age, but we do get a lot of the younger ones. We had Elkhart Community Schools come and say they want to actually send students our way, so we're really excited about that. But like I said, we had somebody who was 82, and you had somebody 72. Yeah, South Bend had 72. Sure. I am not. Awesome. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thanks. So, yes. Initially, so that's a great question. It's going to leave me, I will answer that question eventually. So we are a charter school. However, we are under the workforce development budget. What does that mean for the community? We don't pull from the regular school funds. We're an exact line item on the workforce development budget every year. And so we don't even touch local funding at all, educational funding. So this year, we're looking for 110 students. And as our charter grows, the most we'll have is 250, unless we see a need, and then we'll go back to the charter, to Indiana Charter School Board and ask to increase. Great question. It was about enrollment. When can they enroll? Because our terms are every 8 weeks, we have a rolling enrollment. So any time of year, they can come in and become a student. We have bridge classes, which are shorter. If they miss the initial start of the term, we do offer bridge classes. So they'll join us and then go right on to a full term.
If they have to stop for some reason, they're pregnant, a family emergency, they can come back to us at any point. So it's not like a traditional school where if you would stop in the middle of the year, you would essentially lose that school year. So it's continuous. We will take them whenever they're ready, as long as they can stay.
Another question. So you started the South Bend Excel Center, and we were talking earlier about what was your biggest challenge, and what do you anticipate that your biggest challenge being for the Elkhart campus?
That's a good question. So what was our biggest challenge? So I started with the South Bend Excel Center back in 2015, like we were here in Elkhart, where we were an idea, but we weren't actually a school. Cindy did the same thing in Hammond with the school out there. And so really the biggest challenge for us is getting the word out about what we do and getting those initial students. Once we get students coming through our doors, they are our biggest advocates. So our students they are tremendous resources for us to go out into the community and speak to what we do. But truthfully, and I'll let Cindy answer as well, but for me, the biggest thing is just making people aware that we're here and letting them know how we can help the community and getting those students through the door, because once that starts to happen, our students really do a good job of spreading the word for us.
So when a new student comes to us, like I said, they take those initial tests with us. We also require that they are Indiana residents above the age of 18 or older, and that they are not on the sex offender registry list. Those are our only precursors to coming to our school. And did I mention that everything is free? We're hoping to partner with food banks so that we'll be able to provide breakfasts and lunches for our students. I know in Hammond in South Bend, we have clothes there in case students, need clothing or whatever. All three locations have some pantries for our students. So we're really looking, like Mike and I both said, we're really looking forward to having a positive impact. Any other questions? Yes. Sure. Yes. Correct. So we don't do the fluff. Gym is online, which doesn't make sense to me. If somebody comes to us and they don't have their gym credit, they do it online. A lot of our classes offer more than one credit. For example, our English 5, which is like a junior level class, traditional high school class, they earn 4 credits. They get both their English credits, they get a US history credit, and they get a government credit, because we teach the English skills through the social studies focus or lens. No, we're direct instruction. They actually come and sit down in front of the teacher. So our class sizes are very small, so between 15 to 20 students in a class. The times vary. Sometimes they're 90 minutes, sometimes they're 180 minutes. So depending on where you come in. So like myself, I don't need algebra because I already had algebra. When you come in, you'll bring, like if Mike was coming in, he would give me his transcript from high school if he had me in high school. We look at that. We don't need a lot of those classes. We won't repeat because he's already got credit. Why? He's already there. So we look at how do we support him to go into the higher levels. If there's math and English skills aren't there, those are the refresher classes, and then he goes from there. So they do. I mean, if they're in a basic class, we had a young lady just graduate with us from South Bend. We've been open for 6 years there. She's been with us almost every term for 6 years. It's been a lot of time, a lot of coursework in our lower levels until she understood it, grasped the knowledge, was able to move forward. So it is, it really is at the pace of the student. They're not required to be there all day because we know we're serving moms and dads who work, have family, have little ones. So the ideal sweet spot for our students, they can come in for 3 classes a day. We find that we're able to get them through. However, a lot of our students only come in the morning because they drop the kids off at school, they'll come in, and then they have to be home in the afternoon to get the little ones off the bus. So a lot of our students are two hours a day, 2 classes a day. Sure.
That is a good question. So we have open enrollment. However, so we'll start August the 24th. I think your question was what happens if a student wants to enroll September the 3rd. So we have bridge classes, which are 4-week classes. So depending on that student's need, they may jump into a 4-week class, or we might say, well, we can't get you to this in-person class right now. However, we see that you need these credits if you'd like to start online. And then when the next 8-week session opens, we'll get you into some in-person classes. So they're not jumping into the middle of an 8-week course. They're going into an online class if we can't get them into that in-person course, but every 8 weeks, they have the opportunity to jump into an in-person class.
Great question. Where do we get our teachers from? We advertise on the Indiana Department of Education Job Bank. We are fully staffed right now. All of our teachers are licensed teachers. That's across our whole network. In Hammond, Gary, South Bend, and Elkhart, all of our teachers are licensed. They spent time in the communities that they're teaching in currently. They know our students. They know some of the barriers that students face in this community, so they're very aware. What are we doing right? Quite honestly, our mission. Our mission is to educate, train up our people, get them in jobs so that they can live an abundant life.
Well, one thing I'll say is this is by far and away. So I've been in education for 20 years. I've been doing this the last 6 years. I've never heard the word thank you so often as I do with this. Traditional education is it's a challenge. And a lot of our staff are looking for a change, and they're looking for that opportunity to teach students that want to be there. With adults that are over 18, they are making the choice to come to our program. If they choose not to show up, we do everything we can to bring them back in, to knock down those barriers. But if they don't want to be there, we can't force them to be there. So the biggest reason why people are coming to us, they're seeking us because it's so rewarding. And our graduation ceremonies are like nothing you've ever seen, in terms of celebrations, tears, just very, very, very powerful, because a lot of things that we've just taken for granted in our lives, you don't realize how special and how moving a high school graduation is until you see a 35-year-old adult with 3 kids.
And there's a lot of hooping and hollering in our graduations. We encourage that. Yes, sir. None. Everything is completely free. The only thing they need to bring with them is their brain and their body. Even the certifications are free. Even the certifications, we partner, we either pay out of pocket for them, or we partner with workforce development partners. Yes, sir. We don't. I know the crossing, and I'm not knocking the crossing whatsoever. It's just not. They serve a very limited age group. I think it's like 16 to 21 or 20, and we accept anybody over the age of 18. Yeah, no, Goodwill, although Goodwill has its roots in Methodist, it no longer is a religious organization. Yeah, Edgar Helms was our founder back in Boston. And when he got out of seminary, he wanted to go to Africa to do mission work. And they said, oh, great, go to Boston. So he saw the need there to collect items from the community and have people come in and fix those and teach others for the value of work. Yes, sir. Oh, no, they're paid. We are, yeah, so we do get funding from the state, like I said, for workforce development, and they are paid. We're comparable to local districts as far as compensation is concerned. Students, yeah, we do see a higher number of women coming in. Again, it's a lot of young ladies who had babies and no one to watch them, so they had to drop out. I would probably say it's like 75-20, 75% women, 25% male. As far as, yeah, so we again, we're Goodwill and we have all these other programs. So we do refer them to our career centers. There's one here in Elkhart. I'm sorry, I'm not from this area, I'm from the county. But yeah, we refer them over to our career centers so that it's kind of a handoff. We ask that our career centers actually come in. We do have a class right before our students graduate. It's called Senior Seminar. That's where they really start to focus in what they want to do, what career, and what certification they want to do. And so we kind of have our career community career centers come in and talk to them and get that information and get them kind of thinking and looking and out there pursuing what they want to do for their career.
Yeah, I have one more thing to add to that. So that senior seminar course is where our students do some career exploration. They look into, do I want to go to college? How much is that going to cost? Or do I want to go into this career? What kind of training or education might I need? And part of that senior seminar class is doing some mock interviews. And this is where we're really kind of looking to build some of those community relationships. So if you guys, if anybody would want to come in and be part of those mock interviews to prepare our students or to even interview our students for a job, that's something that we would welcome with open arms.
Thank you very much.
Mike, Cindy, thank you so much for being here today. That was fantastic. And we have a lot of educators and those who are supporters of educators in the room, and so we're very happy to learn more about that. Now, and you may not be able to say, it sounded like you were. I know there's lease agreement things, but physically, where are you going to be? Or can you not say that? Okay, we can't say that because it's not official. You're going to be in Elkhart. So that's the big thing, is that this is the new Excel Center. Perfect, perfect. We're happy to share that. And anyone, you guys will be around a little bit afterwards. Announcements on Facebook, always good. Social media, and if you're going to be around for a few, if anyone has additional questions, or if you want to help out with those mock interviews, that's always a great thing for you know, so many of us professionals in this group. That's very, very helpful and appreciated. Before we conclude here, I want to first thank Susan, Brian, Carlos, Connie, Dan, Jan, Paul, Randy, Steve, and Tom Neat for joining us online. Thank you all for being there. I wish I could turn the camera around more easily. I would drop this probably if I did, to see all the great smiling faces here. It's an excellent attendance today. Thanks everybody for being here. And to share a quote that is representative of, I think, both the Excel Center and all educators, as well as us as Rotarians, including Mike and Ray, who left us recently. At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who you've lifted up, who you've made better. It's about what you've given back. And that is from the great philosopher and a favorite guy of mine, Denzel Washington. And also, I think it really speaks to our theme this year for Rotary International of serve to change lives. And I had wanted to, at the beginning of this Rotary presidential year for me, mention that if you ever caught me not saying our Rotary theme for the year during a meeting, come to me and you'll get a special prize. So now that I'm through a month, so I got a little more time. And I think I have missed it a couple times, but it's printed right here at the top of all of the agendas that I will have. So if you catch me not saying that, please come up. I want to thank everybody again for being here today. Thank you very much to our speakers from the Excel Center, Mike and Cindy, we appreciate it. And Thanks those who helped out with the meeting today. Go hug someone you love and have a great rest of the week in service in our community. Rotary's adjourned. Everyone online.